Good morning, welcome back. What I want to look at today is, again, GCSE mathematics, and we're going to look at factors, okay? Factors, okay? Now again, let's see if we can make this large enough again, so we don't have to strain our eyes in any shape or form, okay? That's the main thing. And this is what we're going to look at: factors, multiples, prime numbers, breaking down numbers into prime factors, okay? Okay. Let me get my pen. I want to use a color that doesn't that's what we're looking at, factors, okay? Now every number has factors. Please look at the following examples which show you what is meant by factors. What are the factors of 6? 6 can be made up of. Now when we're looking at factors, we're looking at what numbers will make up equally without a remainder to that number, okay? So here we have 1, 6, 2, and 3. So we can say that the factors of 6 is 1, 2, 3, and 6 itself. Okay, these are the factors of 6. Why are they the factors of 6? Because you can have 6 ones. You can have 2 times 3. 2 3s is 6. You can have 2 3s. 3 plus 3 would be 6, and you can have 6 and itself. Okay. Now here we have factors. What are the factors of 42? The thing that comes to my mind immediately is 7 6s. So we can have 7. It'll be 1. As a factor of 42, it'll be 2. As a factor of 42, 3. As a factor of 42, and 6 as a factor of 42. Okay, 7 6s equals 42. 1 times 42 would be 42. That would be 42. They would all add up to 42 as a result. Okay, so we can say here that again 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 14, 21, and 42 are all factors of 42. Okay. Now what's different here about here? Now if you look here, we almost have a repetition, haven't we? We know 1 is a factor of 6, whereas 1 is also a factor of 42. We have 2, which is a factor of 6, and we have 2, which is also a factor of 42. We have 3, which is a factor of 6, and we have 3, which is a factor of 42. So most numbers will have a link to another number which can form a factor thereof. Anyway, what are the factors of 60? Let me just change my color. Okay. I like so what are the factors of 60? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 are all factors of 60. And again, we're almost looking similarly now. Here, you'll notice that we don't have any 7s in this factor of 60, but we have a 7 in a factor of 42. Okay? So bear in mind that certain values will not appear in some cases because they cannot possibly form a factor of that number because they do not divide equally into that number. Anyway, remember, a number is a factor of another number if it divides into that number without a remainder. It has to divide equally. So, for example, let me just put here, example, P L E, we can say eight divided by 4. 4 into 8 goes twice. Okay, there's no remainder. No remainder. Okay. No remainder. Okay, no remainder. Now, if I change that number to 9, okay, no remainder. So if I change that number to, let's say 9, right? Four into 9, that will go twice. And I've got a remainder of 1, okay, and that is the difference. Therefore, that 4 will not be a factor of 9 in any shape or form. Okay. Now, if you have an even number, 2 will divide into it without a remainder. If the number ends in 0 or 5, then 5 will divide into it without a remainder. Of course. Multiples. If we look at the multiples of 3, we see that they are 3, 6, 9, 12, etc., etc., etc. infinite. The multiple of 5 is 5, 10, etc. Infinite. If you work out the multiples of numbers from 2 to 10, you have in fact drawn a multiplication table. Okay. Please put in the correct numbers where the question mark appears. So here, what number would come here? Should be a 6, yeah? What number would come here? It would be a 14, yeah? Okay. And again, I will leave the rest for you to follow on and complete, okay? Now, prime numbers. The following are prime numbers: 2, 3, 5, 7, etc., etc., etc. There are many more. 2 is the only even prime number. So a prime number can be described as a number which can only be divided by 1 and itself. Okay? And here's our example. Okay? And here we can see that 14 will not be a prime number. And here, write down which of these you think are prime numbers, okay? It must be able to be divided by itself and 1 only, okay? Now, express 12 as a product of its prime. When you reach 1, you have finished. Okay, you can see that we have reached 1 here. Therefore, 12 equals 2 times 2 times 3. Or we say that 12 is a product of 2 and 3. Okay. Now, I'm not going to tell you which of these are prime numbers. That's something for you to do. It should only be able to be divided by itself and 1 without any remainder. So quite a few of these here could be prime numbers. Would this be a prime number? Question. Would this be a prime number? Again, question. But I'm leaving that for you to answer. As you can see, that would this be a prime number? And would this be a prime number? Remembering that a prime number can only be divided by itself and 1. Okay, I'll leave that for you to figure out, okay, and have a tinker around with, okay. And this is quite a short one. If a number is multiplied by itself once, we say that the number is squared. So the answer here could also be 12 equals 2 times 2 times 3. Yes. So remember here, what they're saying here is that this 2 here, the 2 is squared. So what you get, if it's squared, you're going to get 4 times 3. Okay? And that is equal to 12. Okay? And here we have another example, okay? Express 132 as the product of its prime. And what's happened here is that it's been divided stage by stage, okay? It's been divided stage by stage until you then become down to a point where you're dividing it and dividing it and you get an end result, okay? So you can then say that this 2 squared times 3 times 11 would be your product of its prime. Okay, and let's look at the next example. Again, 210 as the product of its prime. Okay, and again, write these out for yourselves so that you can see and know what you're meant to be doing. Okay, and these here again are for you to do yourselves. Answers multiples. Now these are the answers to what you've been asked. Okay, now I hope you found this useful. Okay, and I'm just going to go back to make sure that I've got everything in frame. Okay, okay, thank you and have a good day. Okay, I hope you found this useful. Bye bye.